You think your home is safe until your child looks at you with fear you have never seen before. One moment you're telling them to finish breakfast. The next, their voice drops to a whisper you feel in your spine. That whisper comes with a truth you weren't prepared for. A truth they held on to alone because they didn't know who else to trust. You start replaying every strange moment, every door left unlocked, every sound you ignored. And you realize your child isn't scared of the dark. They're scared of someone who stepped into your life while you weren't watching. Someone who was waiting for the moment your wife walked out the door. But before I tell you what happened that day, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and share your thoughts in the comments. You think your home is safe until your child looks at you with fear you have never seen before. The moment she left for the store, the house sank into a strange quiet. The door closed, her footsteps faded, and I turned back to my son at the table. He pushed his cereal around without taking a bite. His small shoulders tightened every time the floor creaked. "Eat a little," I said. "Your mom will be back soon." He didn't answer. I sat across from him. "Hey, talk to me." He lifted his head slow. His lips trembled. His eyes darted toward the hallway, then back to me. He leaned forward, voice thin and shaky. "We have to get out right now." My spine locked. "Why?" His breath hitched. "He's here." I froze. The house felt different in an instant, heavy, watchful. Every sound turned sharp. "Who's here?" I whispered. He swallowed hard. "The man Mom talks to when you're at work." My chest tightened. "What man?" "The man who comes inside when she says she's going for a walk." Blood rushed to my ears. I didn't breathe. I didn't move. My son kept whispering, each word smaller than the last. "He was in the hallway last night. I saw him. He told me not to tell you." A cold wave moved through me. My mind raced through every strange detail I brushed aside. The late evening phone calls. The new perfume she wore on days she said she was tired. The times she walked outside alone, returning flushed and quiet. And now, this. A stranger. Inside my home. Near my child. I lowered my voice. "Where did you see him?" "In the closet by the stairs," he said. "Mom left it open. I saw his shoe." I stood slow so my chair didn't scrape the floor. My son watched me, shaking. I held out my hand. "Come here." He rushed into my arms, gripping me with both hands. His heartbeat thudded against my chest. I lifted him carefully and moved toward the living room. I kept my steps quiet, controlled. The house felt like it held its breath with us. "When did he come in?" I asked softly. "Last night," he said. "Mom told me to stay in my room. She said she was tired and needed fresh air, but he was already inside." "Did she talk to him?" He nodded. "I heard them whispering. She said you wouldn't understand." My stomach twisted. Each piece cut deeper than the last. The betrayal, the danger, the fear she forced onto a child who still slept with a nightlight. I reached the living room and set him behind me. "Stay here." He grabbed my shirt. "Don't leave me." "I'm not going far," I said. "I promise." His grip loosened, but he stayed close. I could hear my own pulse in my ears. The house creaked again. A soft shift above us. Or maybe inside the walls. Hard to tell with adrenaline pushing everything into sharp focus. I stepped toward the hallway where the stairs disappeared into shadow. The closet door stood slightly open. A thin line of darkness stretched across the floor. "Dad," my son whispered behind me. "Don't." His voice trembled enough to break something inside me. I moved back to him. "We're leaving." He nodded fast. I grabbed my keys from the counter without making a sound. My wallet sat by the sink. I left it. Nothing mattered except getting him out. I opened the back door slow, so the hinges wouldn't groan. We stepped onto the porch. Air hit my face, cool and sharp. I lifted him into my arms and hurried toward the car parked at the edge of the driveway. "Did he ever talk to you?" I asked as we moved. He hid his face in my shoulder. He said he liked seeing me. He smiled, but his eyes felt wrong. I held him tighter. We reached the car. I set him in the back and locked the doors from inside. I slid into the driver's seat and started the engine. The house stayed still behind us. Too still. I pulled out of the driveway fast but quiet, turning onto the road toward the small park near the lake. We drove in silence for several minutes. My son kept peeking out the window, fearing something would follow. At the park, I parked under the big oak tree and turned off the engine. The wind rustled the leaves above us. He looked at me with wide, scared eyes. "Are we safe now?" "Yes," I said, "you're safe with me." But inside, safety felt far away. I faced him. "You did the right thing telling me. You're brave." He shook his head. "Mom said I shouldn't talk about him." "She shouldn't have said that," I told him gently. "You talk to me about everything. Always." He nodded, but confusion clouded his face. I ran a hand through my hair. Every scenario tore through my mind. Did she invite this man in? Did he force his way? How long had this been going on? How deep was her betrayal? And what danger sat inside my home while she shopped for groceries? My son whispered again. "Dad, did Mom do something bad?" I exhaled slowly. "I don't know yet." "She looked sad last night," he said. "She told him she couldn't keep doing this." My eyes narrowed. "Doing what?" "Hiding him." My heart pounded with each new truth. "She said you wouldn't forgive her," he added. I closed my eyes for one long moment. When I opened them again, my son watched me with fear mixed with trust. "I'm going back," I said. "To the house." He stiffened. "No." "You're staying here with me," I said. "Lock the doors. I'll be right outside. But I need to make sure he's gone." Tears filled his eyes. "Don't let him get you." I cupped his cheek. "I won't. I promise." He sniffed, wiped his face, and nodded. I stepped out of the car and closed the door gently. The wind blew across the lake, carrying the smell of water and wet leaves. My footsteps felt heavy as I started back toward the house. But then my phone buzzed. A message from my wife. "Be home in 10 minutes. You two okay?" Another message followed before I answered. "Don't go upstairs." My feet stopped on the pavement. Cold air rushed through my lungs. I called her. She answered fast. "What does that mean?" I asked. Her breath shook. "Please don't go upstairs." "Who is he?" Silence. "Tell me now," I said. "Someone I made a mistake with," she whispered. "Please don't go inside alone." I turned toward the house. "I'm already on my way," I said. "I'm already on my way." Her breath shook through the phone. "Stop. Listen to me." "No," I said. "You tell me the truth." "I didn't know he was still there," she whispered. "I thought he left last night. You brought him into our home." "I didn't mean for any of this to touch our son." "It did." She went silent. Then she said, "I'm turning around. Please wait for me." "I'm not waiting." I ended the call. The road back to the house felt longer than before. Each step tightened something inside me until it hurt to breathe. My son's face, terrified and small, pushed me forward. The house came into view between the trees. The windows looked calm, nothing out of place, nothing to warn anyone watching from inside. I stepped off the sidewalk and moved toward the backyard. My shoes sank slightly into the damp grass. A rustle in the bushes made my pulse spike, but it was only a squirrel darting out. I kept going until I reached the fence and peered through the slats. No movement, no silhouette, no sound. I climbed over the fence and landed soft in the yard. The sliding door to the kitchen sat closed, curtains still drawn. I crouched and watched for movement inside. None. I pulled out my phone. Another message from her. Don't confront him. He doesn't think straight. My grip tightened around the phone. I slid the door open slow enough not to make noise. The house felt colder than before, as if someone had drained the warmth out of the walls. I stepped inside and closed the door behind me. The hallway stretched ahead, still and quiet. The closet door remained half open. I walked toward it with slow, measured steps. My breath stayed shallow. My heart pressed against my ribs like it wanted out. I reached the closet, placed my hand on the door, and pulled. It opened, empty. I exhaled, but tension stayed locked in my body. Then I heard it, a soft creak above me. Second floor. I looked up the stairs. A shadow shifted across the landing, slow, careful, like someone who believed they belonged there. I took a step forward, then another. At the top of the stairs, the hallway light flickered. A string of memories hit me all at once. His shoe in the closet, his whisper to my son, her late-night walks, the nights she cried quietly in the bathroom, the text telling me not to go upstairs. My hand brushed the railing as I continued up. Halfway to the top, a shape appeared at the end of the hall. Tall, still, watching. He didn't move when he saw me. He didn't hide. He stood with steady confidence, his shoulders relaxed, his hands at his sides. He looked like someone who expected this moment. "Where is my wife?" I asked. He tilted his head slightly. "On her way home." His voice was low, calm, without fear. "What are you doing in my house?" "I needed to talk to her," he said. "You saw my son." He nodded once. He was awake. "You scared him." "That wasn't my intention." My jaw tightened. "Leave." "No." I stepped closer. "I won't ask again." His eyes followed me, slow and deliberate. "You don't know what she told me." "I don't care what she told you." "You should," he said, "because she didn't tell you the truth." I paused. "What truth?" He took one step forward. "She wasn't going to leave you, not until I told her she had to." I felt heat rise inside my chest. "Why would she listen to you?" "Because she trusted me." His voice softened. "She told me things she never told you." "What things?" "That she felt alone. That you stopped noticing her. That she didn't know how to tell you she wanted something more." My hands curled at my sides. "She thought you'd get angry," he continued. "She thought you'd make her feel guilty." "I never hurt her," I said. "No. But you ignored her pain." My pulse hammered harder. "She told you that?" "She needed someone to understand her. You manipulated her." He smiled faintly. "Is that what she said?" I stepped closer. "You need to leave before she gets here." "I'm not leaving, not until I talk to her." "She doesn't want you here." He chuckled under his breath. "She told you to say that?" "No," I said. "She told me not to go upstairs." His smile faded. "Interesting," he whispered. His calm expression slipped for the first time, replaced by something colder. "I didn't come here for a fight," he said, "but you're not thinking clearly." "You were in the hallway near my son," I said. He walked out of his room. I told him to go back to sleep. "You told him not to tell me." He shrugged. "I didn't want you misunderstanding." "You hid in my closet." "I didn't want to leave until she returned." I stared at him. The hallway grew tighter. The air thickened. "You're leaving," I said. "No," he replied, "because she isn't done." His confidence rattled something inside me. Then I heard a car door slam outside. My wife. Her footsteps rushed toward the house. She burst through the front door, breath shaking, hair clinging to her face from the wind. She ran into the hallway and looked between us. "Stop," she said. "Both of you." He looked at her with soft relief. You came back? She backed away from him. I told you not to be here. He frowned. We need to finish talking. No, she said. This ends now. He stepped closer. She stepped back. I moved between them. She grabbed my arm with trembling fingers. Don't get pulled into this. He lifted his chin. You told me you needed help. She shook her head. I needed courage, not you. His expression changed. Something dark. Something hurt. Something angry. You said you weren't sure you loved him anymore, he said. Her breath stopped. Her fingers tightened around my sleeve. I trusted you, she whispered, and you used everything I said as a weapon. His jaw clenched. You don't belong here, I said. He stared at her with a mix of heartbreak and fury. You chose him? She nodded once. He exhaled slow. Then you made a mistake. I stepped forward. That's enough. He glared at me, took one step back, then another. Slow, controlled, but his eyes stayed locked on her. I'll see you again, he said. No, she whispered. You won't. He turned and walked down the stairs, out the door, into the wind. No rush, no panic. As if this wasn't the end for him. The door closed. Silence fell heavy. My wife collapsed against the wall, sliding to the floor, breath shaking uncontrollably. I didn't know how deep I got, she whispered. I didn't know he'd come back. I knelt beside her. Why him? Tears fell. Because he gave me attention when I felt invisible. Because I got lost. Because I didn't want to lose you. But I didn't know how to fix us. Outside, the wind shook the porch railing. Inside, her confession broke something open between us, and neither of us knew what waited on the other side of it. I stepped toward her, but she lifted her hand in a weak signal for space. Her breath shook. Her legs pulled close to her chest. Rain brushed the windows with a low, uneven rhythm, filling the silence. He changed my mind little by little, she said. Attention felt warm. Praise felt new. I held on to those moments because our home felt heavy. I didn't want a stranger near our son. I didn't plan for this mess. I lost control. Her voice cracked on the last word. I sat beside her, leaving a small gap between us. She looked worn down, as if every lie, every hidden moment, every whisper in the dark finally pressed against her chest all at once. You trusted someone who never earned trust, I said. She nodded. I know. You hid a secret that placed our son in danger. Her eyes closed halfway. I know. And you tried to manage this alone. Her chin lowered. I know. I exhaled. The hallway felt smaller than before, but we needed this talk. No escape, no exit. Only truth between us now. Tell me everything, I said. She wiped her cheek. He stepped into my life during a weak moment. I felt unwanted. I felt unseen. He listened. He offered guidance. I thought support came without cost. Then I saw pressure behind his smile. He wanted more. He pushed. I pulled away. He returned stronger. He watched you. Yes. He followed you. Yes. He forced himself inside our home. She shook her head fast. I opened the door. I believed he just wanted to talk. A friendly visit. A small moment. Then I saw danger in his eyes. I tried to end everything. I backed away. He didn't accept my refusal. I stayed silent because fear grew stronger than common sense. I took a slow breath. You gave him space. He used that space for harm. Her tears fell again. I know. I hate myself for this. This isn't about punishment, I said. This is about safety, our son, our future, our choices. She pressed her palm to her mouth. He won't stop. We won't let him near us again. A long silence followed. She leaned her head against the wall and stared at the ceiling as if answers hid between the lights and shadows. "Where do we go from here?" she asked. "Forward," I said, "with honesty, with clear rules, with distance from everything linked to him." She blinked slow. "I want us. I want repair. I want to rebuild trust. I don't know how long this journey takes. I don't know how much strength remains inside me. I only know I don't want to lose this family." "No more secrets," I said. "No more secrets," she repeated. Another silence settled, a calmer one. I stood and reached for her hand. She hesitated, then let her fingers slide into mine. We walked to the living room together. The couch sat untouched since the morning. Our son's bowl still held soggy cereal, a reminder of how fast life can twist. She sank onto the couch. I sat beside her. "Where is he now?" she asked. "Far enough," I said. "Farther soon." She pulled a blanket around her legs. "You must hate me." "I feel hurt, betrayed, angry," I said, "but hate doesn't sit here." She covered her face again. "I don't deserve forgiveness." "Forgiveness doesn't show up in one day." She lowered her hands. "Our son saw everything. He heard whispers. He walked near danger. I failed him." "You failed yourself," I said. "Pain creates blind spots. You followed attention because you felt empty. He used weakness as leverage. You didn't fall in love. You lost direction." She looked at me with raw fear. "Do you think I wanted him? Do you think I loved him?" "No," I said. "You never loved him. You loved feeling noticed." Her shoulders dropped, as if guilt weighed less when spoken aloud. A car passed outside. Lights moved across the curtains. She flinched, expecting the worst. "He won't return," I said. "You don't know," she whispered. "We stay alert. We protect our son. We contact support. We end every path linking him to our family." She breathed slowly. "What about us?" "We rebuild," I said, "step by step. No rush, no pressure." Her lips trembled. "Do you still want me?" The question landed with more weight than anything said before. "I want honesty," I said. "If honesty leads back to love, then yes." She nodded and pressed a hand to her heart. "I want love. Our love. Not that false high he dangled in front of me." I watched her expression shift. Shame softened into relief. Fear faded into grief. Then small footsteps echoed near the back door. We both turned as our son peeked into the living room. His eyes widened when he saw us together. "Is everything okay?" he whispered. We both stood. She knelt in front of him. "You're safe," she said. "I'm sorry for everything you saw. You protected us. You were brave." He hugged her tightly. Her shoulders shook as she held him close. I knelt beside them. "We stay together tonight," I said. He nodded against her shoulder. We settled on the couch, all three of us bundled under one blanket. Our son fell asleep first, head resting on her lap. She brushed his hair with a trembling hand. "This family means more to me than anything," she whispered. "I nearly destroyed everything. Thank you for not giving up on us. We give our son a safe home. We give each other truth. The rest grows from there." She leaned against me. A quiet apology lived in every breath she exhaled. A fragile hope grew slow but steady. Outside, wind moved across the yard. Inside, healing began with small steps, whispered promises, and a fragile unity strong enough to face whatever came next. Thank you for staying through this story.